So, yeah, we're straight into the game here. We are going to start with the 2-on-2. Like always in this tournament, we've got SyDe at the bottom playing as the blue undeads, opening with a quick fiend build. On the left side, his teammate and partner Foggy, and at the top we've got ThorzaiN. He's actually opening without anything, so I think maybe Pala Rifle. And on the right side, we've got Starshaped.
And not only that, he actually just got fed 100 gold and 60 wood from Starshaped. So that's definitely indicative of a fast rifle build. And what feeding that does is it slows down the Night Elf's hunts, but you're able to get the Paladin out quicker, and you're able to get that first rifle out quicker to get some movement on the board from the human side. So, and sometimes you actually ask for that back. And sometimes you just let the human keep that, but either way, it allows what normally starts out as a very slow build to actually be kind of a quick build.
Remind me after this game to actually edit the title as well. I need to make sure I add your name in there. Are you going to be live after this, by the way?
It depends on what time this ends. My guess is I probably won't be able to.
Okay.
Unless, if you play after this, I might be able to go live at like 10 p.m. my time, but...
what time is it your time right now?
Right now it's 3 o'clock, so that's like in 7 hours.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be live that long.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'll be sleeping actually at 10 p.m. your time now that you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I gotta be on the StarCraft show actually later tonight, so maybe that show ends at 10 p.m. But yeah, my stream won't be live obviously.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, so yeah, something else. Foggy, you actually see this a lot on this map.
Wait, we see the chat, by the way.
Oh, we do see the chat.
Because they send me the replay from their point of view.
Oh. Yeah, it's Foggy and SyDe's.
So they said Starshaped. Maybe they scouted him, or... Oh, no, yeah, okay. Starshaped scouted SyDe, and then he said that Starshaped was on the right side, and I assume he pinged it. And would it be funny if they started talking shit or something?
There's no way. You know these guys? Maybe from like other people, but from Foggy's side, no way, no way. But Foggy is already opening with this fast AOW creep. I expect to actually maybe transition into hunts. He did bring 2 wisps, which is really smart. This creep does a ton of damage, but it also gives you a lot of experience, and it gives you a big item, which he got the vitality. That's not what he's looking for there. He's definitely looking for the mana pendant. But yeah, he's still going to walk away from this creep with level 2, and a very quick level 2 at that.
That's crazy, by the way, like the way Starshaped and ThorzaiN are playing. Like, mass rifle and mass hunts with true shot aura. Like, the damage is actually not only going to be absurd, but the sustain of their army with devotion aura is going to be crazy good.
I love it. It's so basic, but it's so strong. And I'm really interested to see how Foggy and SyDe decide to counter this. In theory, the way that you beat those mass tier 1 units is high-level heroes and a tech advantage and making sure you're picking your fights well and kind of camping your base. But we see ThorzaiN is kind of doing something that's going to force them into fights that they may or may not want. So we see ThorzaiN is already throwing up a fast expand in the top right-hand corner, which what that's going to do is that you can kind of assume that will get scouted out probably in the next 2 or 3 minutes. And what that's going to do is it's going to put a timer on SyDe and Foggy. So SyDe and Foggy are going to have to either counter expand, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Foggy looks like he's going to throw up an expand, or he's going to have to push the expand. But it looks like they made the decision to counter expand. Foggy threw a wisp down there in the bottom left. Starshaped bringing a wisp to detonate, gets 2 treant kills, and I expect a tree to go up from Foggy very quickly. Let me check on his resources.
Yeah. And he's staying around to cover that as well, like he didn't quite have a dust. Death Knight just bowed that. Oh! The Polyp's trying to escape, and they didn't see it. Oh, he's blocking it! Oh my god. Then he... Wait. Oh, he does have Entangle. Yeah, he's level 2. They're just gonna creep, I guess. Kinda annoying, because they could have forced a TP here, which would have been very nice, because it's nighttime for a very long time here. Yeah. So, you wouldn't be able to rebuy a TP for a very long time from the shop in the center, because they're not taking either, both of them.
And on top of that, in 2v2, TPs are actually very valuable. Whereas in solo, yes, TPs are valuable, but not as much. Because in general, in solo, you would rather have an army to fight with than have a TP. And I'm speaking in very general terms. But in 2v2, you almost always have to have a TP. If you don't have a TP in 2v2, you're basically opening yourself up to you know, possible errors and game losing choices. So having that TP is kind of like your safety switch if you get into a bad fight or if your ally gets hit or something like that. Yeah, so forcing a TP would have been huge there. So a minor mistake coming out from Foggy inside there.
He made Sentinel, I think, again, by the way. I really like that from Foggy. Like, the vision, the extra vision, it's really cool to be able to work with.
It's a strong upgrade. Even after the nerf, it's still a strong upgrade. It's basically opening up observer wards, and it's 1 observer ward per Huntress, which is really strong.
A town is under siege.
Okay, so ThorzaiN and SyDe are the 2 players creeping right now. We're seeing a little bit of a shit show from the 2 Night Elves, kind of chasing one another on the map. Oh my god, he got 2 gloves of haste, by the way. If he gives that to the bottom, that's actually going to be pretty sick.
So the other downside, so with StarZane's build, it's very, very strong. It puts out a massive amount of damage. The downside is there's not a lot of mobility. So they always have to be together. They always have to be fighting together. You can see they're even creeping together right now, which isn't necessarily ideal, but their army is stronger when they're together.
Yeah. A team that creeps together stays together.
Yeah.
What?
And usually the way you'll beat this is you try and split them up. So you don't really want to fight them together because you know that they're stronger together. So you can kind of, I'm interested to see if Foggy and SyDe will try and split them up or use their mobility against them. So they have that Unholy Aura. They're a little bit faster. And ThorzaiN and Starshaped, they don't have anything like sorceresses or dryads or anything like that to force them into a fight. And it looks like we are going to see the first big engagement here. A very strong opening from Foggy and SyDe, from Foggy and SyDe, opening up with a big nomad coil. I can't talk. I've been talking all day, man.
You listen to Death Note too much. It's over.
I'll tell you what. Actually, shout out to Death Note. Casting in a second language that you're not proficient in.
No, it was sick.
It's freaking hard. It's seriously, it's very, very hard. So we got some good laughs out of it because obviously his English isn't perfect. But shout out to him for coming on and casting anyway and sharing his thoughts. It made it entertaining.
I really appreciate it, and I know he's a good sport about it. So for sure, I make some jokes myself. Even though when I first traveled to Las Vegas for Warcraft 3, and I think I must have been like 18 years old back then. I didn't speak a word of English. Like, his English is actually far superior to what mine was back then, so.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's even like it's very intimidating. It's very nerve-wracking.
He's not intimidated somehow, though.
No, he didn't seem intimidated. He seemed like a good sport, which is the right attitude to have when you're in a foreign language environment.
You know, a lot of Koreans, they're really shy about trying to speak English. Like, a lot of them, you meet them at events, they're talking with you just fine, you know, they don't have the most amazing English necessarily, but they'll talk with you plenty. And then it's time to do an interview and they're like, oh, I need a translator, otherwise I can't do this interview. It's like, bro, like, we just talk like for a while together. But I think they're worried about getting criticized and stuff by fans, which I think are pretty ruthless.
Speaking of which, we actually see another fight, and once again they are together. They have ThorzaiN's rifles are just pumping out damage. So they do have 1/1 upgrades right now. The Blood Mage is coming in to join the fight. Look at how quickly Foggy's hunts. Basically, the way ThorzaiN is microing this is he's just shift clicking those hunts, and he's killing 1 hunt per volley of rifles, and it's actually disgusting how quickly those hunts are falling. And Foggy says TP. He's like, get the hell out of there. Why are we fighting this?
Yeah.
That was a terrible fight.
He had nothing left.
When you're fighting against this army, you can't fight them straight up. You can't, because as I was mentioning, the only weakness of this army is their mobility. They have nothing to keep you in the fight. There's nothing to force you to stay there. So you have to use that to your advantage. So them just kind of standing there and like taking the punches, so to speak, is, I mean, I think that's a poor decision from Foggy and SyDe.
Hey, thanks for the host, Hawk, by the way. You know what really surprises me here is the lack of expansions in general. Like, it seems like one player expand and that's it. I feel like Undead expansion is so good that upon reaching tier 3 you just get 50 supply, which I guess they've been fighting here, so maybe that's why he's been holding on that, but...
This is really fun.
Oh my god, that Augur.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I just think they should be expanding more. But maybe they just wanted
Yeah.
to make sure they got enough units first. And
So-
right
so
now,
what-
StarZane is looking strong.
StarZane is looking super strong. So not only is the damage that they're pumping out just massive, I would actually love to see like a DPS chart of the army. I don't know if that's like possible to integrate into Reforged, but that would be such a cool thing to see. Like we already have actions per minute. I would love to see like damage per second or damage per minute of the actual army, because the damage being pumped out from these rifles is insane at this point. And then to add to that, they are using the map to their advantage, and they recruited this Ogre Magi who has Bloodlust. And normally it takes a special race, it takes Orc, and it takes tier 3 and a tier 3 upgrade to unlock that Bloodlust. On this map, that's not the case. That you can literally just grab that Ogre and you unlock Bloodlust for your entire army. It's crazy overpowered, and I love to see them using it.
Oh
it
my
shows
God.
that they know how to do this map.
The All of Terror landed on every single rifle here. That's going to be -2 damage for every single one of them. The Pit Lords at the front cleaving through those rifles here. It looks like Red has a bigger army, but Undead as the Tri-Hero. They're nuking everything. Size Heroes are pretty much out of mana though. And they have no Dispel here, because they play this like mass unit style. Treants are actually going to be somewhat relevant in those fights.
We have to see some happy style micro coming out from side here. He's taking way too much damage from his fiends. I would love to see him do like some hit and runs, back up hit. Kind of the way I've been seeing Foggy. I've been seeing Happy do this more and more in his games, where he basically just doesn't take damage on his units, and people are like, his micro is absolutely crazy. While his micro is absolutely crazy, it's more that his style of micro is
he's
crazy,
overrated,
in
I
my
agree.
opinion.
What?
It's his style of micro is insane. He just instead of standing there and taking damage, he uses that unholy aura of the Death Knight. He keeps backing up.
Impel! Oh my god, his mana was gone so fast. He had one Impel, and I saw this Siphon come in. Like,
yeah, and that level 2 mana drain is crazy.
And
As
then-
we're seeing.
Death Knight is next. That's not going to be any more Death Coil for a long time here.
And Paladin is very close to level 5. Once that Paladin hits level 5, just nothing is going to die. And they do end up taking out that the expand of Foggy and SyDe, so it is not looking good for Team Night Elf Undead here.
ThorzaiN has 2/2 rifles. He's getting +3 attack. There is True Shot aura level 2. Like, this is absurd.
And just in case you thought that there might be a small chance that they were going to lose this game, he's throwing up 2 Griffin Aviaries in his base. So the natural counter to rifles obviously is abominations. So by him throwing up those 2 Griffin Aviaries, he's saying, even if in some way, shape, or form you're able to get like 6 or 7 abominations, which is really the only way that we would lose at this point, I'm going to start pumping Griffins. And as I say that, SyDe starts producing his first A-bomb. But I think it's going to be a little bit too late, and even if he does get that A-bomb out, we're going to start seeing Griffins come out as soon as they get vision of that first abomination.
Yeah, to be fair, like, because of the goal that he has, I almost would have preferred not seeing any aviaries at all, and then just making like 4 shops,
Forces are under attack.
and then just get an orb on every single hero, and then like A-bomb's just gonna melt anyway from this damage if they're all got the orb of fire on them.
Yeah, I agree. Just
And also
seeing those Griffin Aviaries-
get a staff on every hero, even for the Night Elf. If Starshaped can save like a hunt here and there, it's totally worth it.
So SyDe and Foggy are kind of doing a Hail Mary play, trying to go in on this tree, and I like this play. I like the fact that they're still in this game and they're trying, even though that they're super far behind. I think that they should have been doing these hit and runs a lot earlier, because that is, as I was mentioning earlier, that is the weakness of this hunt rifle build. They don't have the mobility. And the Crypt Lord goes down with the last hit there. But they don't have the mobility that the other team does. So doing those hit and runs is the way to split up these armies, do economic damage, and kind of claw your way back into this game. So even though I love that they're staying, and one of the things that, you know, top level players or pro level players are really good at doing is kind of finding a path to victory. So even though they are super far behind, they're still saying, okay, if we're going to win this game, this is how we're going to do it, and they're executing that plan. They're doing it well too. And as we see, Foggy is actually running straight to the other expand too. So Foggy is starting to use that mobility to his advantage. So he's starting to run around. Like I said, I would have loved to see him do this a little bit more, like you know, 8 minutes ago. But the fact that they're doing it now is showing like, okay, this is how we can win this game.
By the way, did you cast Death Notes and Blades 2-on-2 previously? Like, were you with me when that happened?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Because Death Notes was here, in the left. Oh, I can't ping. Okay, oh, we're not in it. It's replay. On the left side, and then he cracked the expansion first, like the one closest to the spawn on the left side.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he lost basically everything because like the creeps are too strong there. So today I cast with him on this map, and I was like, "Did you never play this map before?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'd never played it." So I kept making jokes that they're gonna go for the Death Note creep route and build and stuff. That's so funny, man.
No, I did not cast that game with you, and that is hilarious.
Oh my god, Starshaped! He didn't have TP.
Oh my god!
Wait,
Inside and Foggy nuke that priestess down, and that's another way back into this game is using that hero nuke. So the Lich just dings level 3 right there, and unlocking that Nova level 2, he's now going to have that level 2 coil, level 2 Nova, being able to get some nukes before the Paladin is able to heal up heroes, and getting those high level heroes is another way to win this game for Foggy Inside. So once again, they're kind of finding these little pathways to claw their way back into this game.
Yeah, Paladin is level 3 devotion, by the way. Every single unit around it has +5 armor.
I'm kind of surprised. I guess level 2 healing is enough to heal any unit up the pole.
And also if you look at the size of the army, it's just so beneficial to the entire army to have that.
And the only time that you would ever really need the level 3 heal is to like bring a hero up from like 0 HP to full HP. So yeah, that's an interesting pick, but now that I think about it, I kind of like it.
SyDe actually falls the TP from ThorzaiN here. In the meantime, Foggy's creeping a bunch himself, trying to level up. That Pit Lord really needs to a little bit more levels, I guess. Gets Rune Bracer, not bad.
Rune Bracer is a good pickup. And Foggy's throwing up another expand. So, you know what? Maybe we counted them out of this game a little bit too early. They were super far behind, but they are finding their way back into this game slowly but surely.
Rifles are 3-3, by the way.
Oh god, those rifles are so strong. Now, I really would like to see some more hit and runs, like some split hits, like SyDe going to one base, Foggy going to another. I want to see them split up this army because I don't think they can fight them together.
Yeah, there's a lot of A-bombs now. Now might be a good time to get Griffins, I guess. And ThorzaiN's very rich. He's got 1,500 gold, 78 supply right now.
Yeah, and as soon as he sees these abominations, I expect to see those Griffins start pumping, and he's gonna break that 80 food limit.
Not a single one of the corner camp have been cracked, by the way.
Those corner camps drop. Those are the things that drop the ridiculous items on this map. They drop like the crazy auras and stuff. Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised that they haven't crept those.
Yeah, earlier today we saw Potion of Restoration being used. Like there was so many sick items used in the Hawk and Cash 2-on-2 against Terror and Sheik.
Yeah, those are the kind of like game-winning items. And here we go. Here is the split hit coming. So Foggy is hitting the expand. Meanwhile, the rifles take out the expansion in the bottom left. And SyDe is hitting Starshape's main. And it looks like SyDe is going to take out this main. So this is an excellent play from Foggy and SyDe. So basically they're saying, okay, human army, you can only hit one of us, right? So you can either save the expand or you can save the main, but one of them is going down. So this is super, super smart play from Foggy and SyDe here. I love the decision to split them up like this. And now they're saying, okay, like, yeah, you have 3-3 rifles, but guess what? We're not going to fight you. We're going to fight your buildings instead.
Did he TP with he forgot his Pit Lord behind somehow. Here, did Foggy. So now SyDe is forced to TP out. He's got a ton of A-bombs. We've got the Griffin production on the way. ThorzaiN on 94 supply right now. And Foggy's expanding at the bottom as well. Oh my god. I think SyDe is waiting for his main base to be mined out, and he's going to transfer Acolytes to the new gold mine that he's made.
Foggy loves...
They're going to try to sandwich them in the center.
That's exactly what they're doing. Oh, I don't... Even if they sandwich them, I don't see them doing well against... These 3-3 rifles are not to be underestimated.
Yeah, and they saw the Griffins now.
Especially when that True Shot aura is in the fight. There's, yeah, I don't see Oh, nice. Did he sacrifice that A-bomb?
A player's force
I think
is
he death
under
packed it,
attack.
right? Or not that, whatever it's
No,
called.
no, he's like, I think. Oh, Dark Ritual, you mean? Yeah, maybe.
Dark Ritual, that's
Yeah.
it.
He
Sorry.
threw one last impel, but that means actually the Creep Lord has no mana, and those statues, they are not really giving much right now.
And these... Foggy is well aware how useless his hunts are at this point. They're not useless, but in a straight-up fight, they are absolutely useless, as they saw in that first fight against the Rifles. These hunts would die in about 2 seconds. So he's using these hunts to the best of his ability just by being annoying, taking out these expands. And like I said, instead of fighting the Rifles, he's fighting buildings. Which, in the end, that is how you win Warcraft, right? You eliminate all of the opponent's buildings. So Foggy is taking that to heart, and he's using his hunts to eliminate those buildings.
I'm assuming SyDe has web here for these Griffins. But he's running past everything. What the hell? Those Griffins have killed quite a few units here.
Yeah, and they have nothing to hit those Griffins, and the one thing that can hit the Griffins, which is the Keeper, is still attacking the Moonwells. So Foggy's saying, I don't give a shit about your Griffins. I'm just going to keep fighting these buildings anyway.
ThorzaiN saw that his base on the right side was going to be attacked. I kind of like that he tried to block that with Lumber Mill, but eventually that was breached. I'm a little bit surprised to see SyDe attack this, to be honest, because there's not much gold left, but I mean, there really wasn't anywhere else they needed to go yet. And Foggy's entire main base is getting wiped out. They have Disease Cloud is active on a lot of these rifles, by the way, and they don't really have priests to heal anything.
You know, Disease Cloud is doing a ton of damage. They do have heal scrolls to counter that Disease Cloud. So what will happen is if Foggy and SyDe do decide to fight them, they'll pop one of those heal scrolls right at the start of the fight to heal all those units up to full. But essentially, that Disease Cloud forces you to buy heal scrolls.
They actually got 4 heal scrolls, which is crazy.
Yeah. But I honestly, I don't think Foggy and SyDe are ever actually going to take a fight. They're just going to keep doing these hit and runs. And the way that you counter this as Starshaped and ThorzaiN is exactly what they're doing right now. You just you attack one of the mains and you say, okay, well, we're going to push your main. If you're going to kill my buildings, I'm going to kill your buildings too. So, and you try and hit their high value buildings faster than they do. So they do take out Foggy's main along with all of his Moonwells. So that ensures that Foggy is going to be stuck on whatever food supply he's on right now. That's what Foggy's going to be at for the rest of the game.
You know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure they forgot about the corner camps.
They forgot about the corner camps?
Yeah, not a single one of them was crept. Like, this is absurd. In Cash's and Hawk's game, they crept them so early, and they did like all of them super fast.
Yeah, I think they should have taken them earlier. I don't actually, ever since about 15 minutes or so, when these hit and runs started, the positioning of your army on the map and like the timing of hitting buildings and making sure that you're attacking buildings when they're attacking buildings and like doing the whole base race thing, timing is so important that I don't ever since the base race started, I don't blame them for not creeping it, but I do think they should have crept it like in that first 15 minutes, you know.
A player's forces are under attack.
Priestess.
And two Griffins being picked off in the bottom right. And while those Griffins aren't that important to ThorzaiN's army, the experience that he's giving SyDe's heroes is important. And as we see, that Death Knight is like 10 experience away from level 5 right now.
Yeah.
A town is under siege.
I guess they're gonna try to catch the Night Elf army in a sec, because it's all the way down there. Oh, Foggy, your army doesn't do very well against this army. What are you doing? He's like, I got this, fam.
And not only that, that Paladin is going to have so much fun holy lighting that Pit Lord. Okay, the Pit Lord says, see you later, uses Staff Teleportation, gets out of there. But Foggy does lose all of those hunts, and he's not going to be able to replenish his army at all. So this is going to end up turning into Undead against Human, but I still think that Human army is stronger than the Undead army. You'll see how quickly those A-bombs, because of their armor type, are going to take extra damage from the Griffins.
Yeah.
And almost, I mean, guaranteed he already has the upgrades for those Griffins. And what that means is that those A-bombs are just going to melt, and then the rifles are going to be free to do what they want. And
are under attack.
yeah, it's not. I still don't think the side can take a straight-up fight, so I expect to still see more hit and runs.
Yeah, the problem is that Blood Mage is going to be incredibly strong as well in taking a lot of the mana away from these undead heroes. Like, the Creep Lord will have 1 Impel at most to work with.
Yeah.
I like that they're creeping. They need more units, I guess. But, like, Foggy has basically nothing but 2 trees. One of those is not even complete yet. So he's not going to be making much more. He needs to mine and he needs to give all of his gold to SyDe for SyDe to try and reach 100. But I don't think Team Sweden is going to give them the time for this.
Have we seen Blood Mage use Vanish or no?
Yeah. He did. Actually, he had a very nice save on the bottom earlier.
Okay.
Potion of Divinity, by the way. Ooh, this is 25 seconds of invulnerability. If he uses that in the start of the fight and gets like 3 impaled and mana potion, then impale more. This could be very nice.
So we might see a fight here for defense. These are the last 2 income sources for Foggy and SyDe, so if they want more income, they need to fight here. And this is it. And hang on, I'll talk about it after this fight, but it's kind of an interesting...
I saw your text message, I heard that.
What?
I heard a text message. I heard your phone ring. Nothing.
Oh shoot, I'm getting Twitch notifications. Hey Fardukin, stop sending me messages. Alright. Anyway, alright, so we do see the big fight. Watch these A-bombs as they get focused down from the Griffins. These rifles are just kind of shift-clicked on all the units. We do see coils and pails coming out. Everyone's just using their abilities. Bottom is positioned really, really well, kind of in the middle of everything, making sure that everything is affected by that True Shot aura. The Potion of Divinity did go off on the Crypt Lord, but it just wore off. And MK is having fun clapping everything. Paladin's still at a very healthy level of mana. And the Undead army just kind of melted, and they GG out